Hello, everybody out there in Mr. Arnold's Learning Strategies class. Today we are looking at Unit 3, Activity 2, and we are looking at something called interpersonal skills, or how to develop interpersonal skills. So this again is Unit 3, Activity 2. When you see this video, there will be another link provided for you above what is interpersonal communication and what does interpersonal communication mean, and that will be the link to this video. The second link you're going to look at today is something called How to Develop Interpersonal Skills. And what you will also have to do is you will also have to submit a document at the end of this that will be created using a literacy strategy from Google Read and Write called Highlights. So let's take a look. If you click on this link, what is interpersonal communication? It leads you to a short 4-minute video explaining the basics about interpersonal communication. Make sure you watch the video before you continue on. When you watch the video, also ensure that you have your closed captions turned on by clicking on the CC button below. This way, you can see what they're saying in the video at the same time as they are saying it. And so on. So once you've watched that entire video, you can move on to the next part of the activity, which is opening an external link called How to Develop Interpersonal Skills. Now, for the text strategy that we're going to use today. Because we have access to a resource such as Google Read and Write, we can use this resource to aid us in things like studying and gathering information. If you click on the Read and Write toolbar, it gives you options above. The options that we are interested in today are known as highlighting and also collecting highlights. Scroll down and you'll find the introductory paragraph for this web page. The first thing you need to do in the introductory paragraph is find the 4 interpersonal skills that are important in the workplace. You can find these skills in sentences 2 and 3 of the first paragraph. To use the highlight tool, simply left-click, select the sentence that you need, which states, in the workplace, listening, communicating, collaborating, and etiquette are important for interpersonal skills. Once you've done that, you can click on the highlight above, and that will save that sentence for you. So your goal now is to find examples and/or strategies throughout the article as you skim and scan the article that are examples of listening, communicating, collaborating, and etiquette. So as we scroll down the page, you'll see that there is a sentence to start on something called active listening. To effectively provide an example, you need to find the sentence that talks about an action in active listening. So you can see here that active listening provides both verbal and non-verbal cues. So I'm going to accept that, and I'm going to highlight that in orange because I know that, green because I'm colorblind. That's an example of listening. Another way to active listen, maintaining eye contact, which I'll also highlight in green. Next, we have nodding, and we also have something called paraphrasing here. Next, If we're going down to talk about failure to communicate, we can highlight this in blue. So we can see that there are some barriers to communication. So what I'm going to do is I am going to highlight barriers to communication, and I'm going to highlight the different barriers to that. In blue, which I did in green by accident. There are also other strategies here in blue. And here's another one here. So now we know that blue is about barriers. Finally, scroll down to the bottom, and we see the word collaboration. You are going to highlight the word collaboration in the next color. So once you have your highlights done, you can collect your highlights using the highlight collection tool. Which is here. Once you've clicked on the highlight collection tool, you'll see that everything that you've highlighted, such as this, goes onto its own document. And I know that by the end, I would like all my highlights collected. It will create a Google Doc, which will then pop out. And I want you to call this Google document your name and then interpersonal skills. Good. When you finish this document, you will submit it to the Dropbox for Unit 3, Activity 2. Finally, on this document, I would like you to answer the following question. How does your personality help or hinder you from communicating? Now, to find the answers to this, you can go to My Blueprint. Under the Who Am I tab in My Blueprint, you'll find a personality report. So under your personality report here, you scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the page. And this gives a detailed description of why or who exactly you are personality-wise. So for me, it says that I may be impulsive, speaking my mind without careful consideration. So I already know that this is a challenge for me. So I can sometimes, good. The one strategy that I use to overcome this challenge is to wait until someone has finished speaking write down their points and repeat back to them what they just. So what I've done is I have looked at my personality style. And I've reflected back to the communicating effectively or interpersonal skills article that we read. And I know that under listen up here, that summarizing a speaker's message at the end is a strategy that I have to use. Focusing my full attention means that I take notes to make sure that my attention is only on that speaker. And that's it for today. If you have any questions about this activity, please ask. I will be gone on Wednesday, but I will be back on Thursday. I'll see you then, and I'll talk to you soon.